Hello, welcome to the Honest Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob. Welcome to the billionth stream street of all time. I'm not even sure what the number is. Maybe Scrivo can catch me up on the number. But hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Thanks to everyone for listening live. Everyone who listens to the podcast, stay hydrated, and I hope you're really well. And thanks to all my thugs and princesses and princes and kings on the YouTube comment section. What up? Twitch chat. Compared to last week, you guys may have seen an energy spike over the past couple of days. Atrocious last week. Definitely feeling a lot more energy today. Very excited about one of these shows where I'm just talking to you, Twitch chat. So, what up? Kill Panic, Bunny and Manchild, Rambo Squirrel, Scott B, Tom, the Iceman. What's absolutely going on, you big butt crack? That's what he told me in the chat. Hello, Chuckle Buddy. Today's show, if you are listening to the podcast, today's show might not be really, might want to skip, but it's worth maybe listening to my reactions or watching it over on YouTube, specifically because I'm going to be going through the show that I sometimes do on a Sunday with Dayton. We've done about 2 or 3 of them now, and it's super fun, where I go through a bunch of releases that have come out on Patreon from different 3D designers. I've talked about this all the time. I was, like yesterday, saying to myself, I'm just going to go through all the Cruel Boys stuff again and re-look at it and just kind of deep dive it, but ultimately I don't know enough, so I think I'd like to do that in the future. I think that's one of the things I'd like to do about on a show anyway, generally for myself. So we're going to look at a whole bunch of different cool designs, basically, and talk about what we could use them for in Age of Sigmar, and just say, ooh, that's pretty, etc., which is all you really need on a show. I can see 3D art digital here, my partner for this month's release. Alkanaut, okay, well, yeah, no, 3D digital art is actually one of the ones we're going to go through. So, super good. Did the Monday show with Nathan rejuvenate you? No, I was feeling hot trash last week, boys. Hot trash, and ladies, sorry. I was feeling like hot trash, and then I finally pulled it through. I got better. It was interesting. I felt awful on Friday, like awful, like wasn't sure I could cope. Saturday was tough, but I started to perk up and feel loads better towards games like 2 and 3. And so Sunday, normally what happens is you feel great on the Saturday and you feel like hot trash on the Sunday. But I was already feeling so low on the Saturday, but by Sunday, my energy levels were higher than the Saturday, which is weird. By game 6, I was like, let's go. I'm ready. Let's do 3 more games. The Iceman, I think they're cool. The Cruel Boys, I think the Cruel Boys are very cool. They're definitely going to be an army I'll pick up. Scott B, yeah, I saw you got your vaccination. I hope you're okay. Chuckle Buddy, I promise we'll talk about turtles. Maybe not today. If you're listening via podcast, Rob hates you. It shows it by having episodes like this. Maybe. I don't know. I just wanted to know that. Hey, Tony Moore. Yes. Hi, Tony. Hope you're well. Right, okay, let's kick this off. So first one we're going to look at is Titanforge. Can't go wrong with Titanforge at all. So Titanforge pretty much like, along with Archvillain, probably one of the premier designers. So again, just in case anyone's never tuned into a show like this, and thanks very much Mac Ready Ness for resubscribing, is if you haven't tuned in, basically there's kind of 2 models really for you to get yourself designs that you can 3D print. All these ones that I'm looking at are pretty much designed for resin printers, which can be pretty easy to use. You need like a nice workstation. You just have to be really methodical with your work process, but generally isn't very complicated, not as much as the plastic FDM printers. The 2 sort of ways you can normally get them are you buy them from a website. I pretty much always go on myminifactory.com, but Lost Kingdoms, who we're going to look at in a minute, they have their own website, for example, where you can buy the STLs. And then what you do is you put them into a slicing program, which basically makes it make a file that your printer will understand, because different printers have different files. Or you can sign up to a Patreon, which is far more economical, far more economical. And then you end up with all of the designs. So when we look at these ones now for Titanforge, these are all of the designs that you'll get from Titanforge this month for being a Patreon. So that's how it works. And also, like Hermanista says, make sure when you are doing resin work, even though James Powell, if you're listening, some of you don't do it, make sure you wear goggles and gloves when dealing with 3D printers. Hermanista, who's been doing a lot of 3D printing, has been on the show talking about it, got some in his eye, and it was awful. So don't do that, is what I'm going to say. What's Pete saying? Had my second vaccine jab and my face is swollen up like I've gone several rounds of Mike Tyson. Pete! Oh no! I'm so sorry. I hope you're well, bud. Right, okay. Pete, look after yourself. Drop me a message. Okay, here we go. Right, so this is the Titanforge release, and they're doing demons! Demons! So these look pretty rad. This is kind of the big group shot. As you can see, there are 3 big demons, which look like they're just different options on them. Titanforge generally tend to make you have different options. So we'll go through this. Look at that big boy. Okay, pretty cool. Now the scale, like you see there, that's like pretty much a human 28mm model at the bottom. So they put that in for scale. So this is massive. Fucking massive. I like the old school wings on this, and the little human. There's a little human in a cage, dangling off his shoulder piece. That's nuts. Tom, you're not sure how you feel about this. Hey, dumb question. Are huge models like that hollow on the inside? Kill panic. So what happens is when you print one of these things on a resin printer, there's these things called supports. And basically what they do is, because if you effectively imagine a plate lifting off another plate vertically, what the supports do is when they start to print is they make what's an island, or like a kind of like a flat piece that hasn't got anything connected to it, prints to it. Now, most of these designers, because they're making a lot of money, or they either support them themselves or they pay a third-party company to pre-support them for you, which also means they sometimes hollow them out, because having them hollowed out is quite nice. So it depends on the designer, but oftentimes a large model like this probably is hollow on the inside and has been designed so, which is quite nice. Which is one of those nice things about these kind of designed models is, like, you as the user, there's a lot less for you to do, whereas there is kind of like the other end of it where you can go to what's it called, Thingiverse, and there's just some files people have kind of hacked together, and then there's all sorts of like issues with them, and you can support them yourself, but it's just a little bit more challenging. So, anyway, but it depends on the ones. But it's not a dumb question. None of the questions are dumb. If you've got any questions, so you're saying I could keep a lot of chocolate in one of these things. Not chocolate you should eat, because that wouldn't be healthy for you. Right, next up. Look at this guy. How do you guys feel about this? Because one of the things that always strikes me when I'm first looking at models again from another company is I'm like, that's not Games Workshop. Like, I'm always like giving it that Games Workshop eyeball. And then I kind of eventually get rid of that. So I think this is quite fun. It's quite brutish, this design, right? Would you say? It reminds me of Burning Legion from World of Warcraft, definitely. These are too static. Interesting. So they're not on a rock, which I think one of the things, and the wings look derpy. Okay, I think that's fair. I think some of the stuff they've made recently has been quite, like, chunky, and I'm not sure if that's because of the design process. I'm not sure. Okay. I see what you mean about the static. They're all just stood. They're more like Guardians. One of the things I've done with a design that's a bit like this, I can't remember who did the design, is I've actually printed it out and I'm using it as a statue on a board, because it just looks awesome. Makes a super cool piece of terrain. And I know you're like, Rob, don't be mental. That can't be a piece of terrain. It's like, well, it'll probably only cost you about a tenner to print. It'll cost you about a tenner in resin, maybe, to print. Which isn't a lot for terrain. Is it? So, sorry, I accepted your no silly question challenge. Would you rather fight one horse-sized printer or 10 printer-sized horses? Don't want to fight any horses. They're too nice. I've fallen in love with horses recently. Right, so there's a little gang. Okay, I see what you mean about being too static. That's fair. Oh, wow. Wow. So what I'm currently looking at for you YouTube guys, if you are listening for some reason, is a chained-up human with a face. And then kind of like a demonic... This guy would make a great, like, change caster. Yeah, he'd be like... what's the one that deep strikes? That doesn't deep strike. It used to cause everyone the drama. Could be a Zinch Demon Prince. 100%. This one is rad. Afternoon, Dread Manny. Hope you're well. Scale it up or down depending on what you need. You can do that. He looks like a Gaunt Summoner. Gaunt Summoner. Yes. Yes. This guy looks incredible. So what I'm looking at is... like a desiccated, like he's got like a bone pen. Yeah, that's rad, man. That looks awesome. Really into that. Rob, have you got these files? Yes. I'm signed up to these guys' patrons. Oh, wow. Just a regular human dude. Just living his best life. Not explain it for the podcast. Yeah, so if you guys could, in the chat, give me what to tell the podcast guys to explain it, that would be good. So emaciated human with dodgy sword. That's this one. A wizard lady, but in chains. So it looks like someone has like captured a wizard or a wizardess. Sorry, is wizard? Is wizard? What's the female word for wizard? Wizard? Have I said that too many times? Yeah, these look like escaped prisoners doing like wizardy stuff. It's wizard. No, witch is different to a wizard though, right? Hermione is a wizard. Sold. I'll take that for 10 points. Thanks, Twitch chat. Look at this guy. Another, like, a dwarven prisoner. So this is a bunch of prisoners who've escaped. This is a dwarf carrying around his, his ball and chain, but as a weapon now. I'm partially sighted and would pay good money for audio descriptions like this, lol. Says Stu Redacted. So there's a dwarf model. He's in a kind of cape that's ragged, and he looks like he's escaped from a prison. He's got a little rat on his shoulder, which is quite cute, or it might even be a mouse. Really into that. This is great. I feel like they are mainly made as RPG minis. Says, oh yeah, but the other one we saw a minute ago was cool. You're right, probably, about Titanforge's design. It's probably a bit more RPG. Look, little imps. So these are imps right out of Baldur's Gate. Effectively, they've got little spears, well, tridents even. Wow, a cool dragon ogre. Awesome. So it's definitely like a centaur. It's a dragon ogre in all but name, really. It's like a four-legged monster with a big cleaver and a shield and armored up to the nines. This guy's bros. Like, he would be cool to do as a Chaos Lord on Karkadrak. You just don't do the Chaos Lord bit. It's just kind of the whole thing. This would be rad. Centaur Gesifica? A Bardachine and shield. Is that what that weapon's called? Sorry, how do I say that? Bardica? Bardiche? It's this sort of thing that really wants a 3D printer, says Stu Redacted. I think it's hard not to, at this point, want to have a 3D printer. Again, another design, of our centaur. Different pose on the legs, which is really nice. A couple of cool weapons. One of them with like some demonic writing on it, which is cool. Again, same sort of like cleaver axe weapon. I like all the armor plates. I think they're nice and clean. As Vince would say, loads of negative space. Not that I want that. I like it to be confusing. And then another one, again, same model. So you could definitely do like some dragon ogres, man. Some much more kick-ass dragon ogres. And if they were the right scale, these would be awesome Varangard. Like, that would be a cool thing to do. Do these as Varangard instead. None of them are pointing while stood on a rock. What the fuck? Tell our podcast bros about the cool stuff. Okay, so one of the things you also get, podcast bros, on the base is you get, with this range, they always release a bunch of bases that go with them that are themed with the army. Now, you don't have to obviously print the bases as well, but it does mean that then you kind of got the whole range, which is quite nice. And again, most of the designers do that. And you can rescale them, as Woidoy is saying in the chat, to any scale that you want. So if you wanted them to be bigger, or you wanted them to be smaller, you could do whatever you want. Wow. Okay, and then there's a banner version. So if you wanted to make some like Chaos Knights, again, this demon range, these kind of centaur big boys, big banner version. Really into that. These might get printed by me. These are cool. And there's little 4 centaurmen of the apocalypse. Thanks. Hey, Ty winning. Where are the centaur ladies? I agree. Where are they? And then you've got some demon foot soldiers. Oh man, these look ace. These look really cool. They'd make really cool Chaos Chosen. Very, very cool. I guess you could use them as a demon prince, maybe. Chosen would be really fun, but they're probably too chunky for Chosen. But they look wicked. They're really good. Fan of that. Again, same thing. So it's kind of like a demon on foot. So I mean, if they were small enough, you could maybe use them as very cool bloodletters. They're very, very very demonic. They've got the helmets. They're much better than bloodletters as well. They've got they're covered in plate armor, which I think is really wicked. Like I get that the demons are I get that demons are demons, and so they don't really need it because they just poof back into magic and just go back into the warp or whatever. But that's really cool. Or you could use them for Vince Montrella's Reign in Hell game, of course. Can you adjust the size to make them bigger or smaller? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So again, another one of these little demon fellas with a kick-ass shield and sword. Yeah, man. They look really great as a unit. Oh, nice. Is that a lady demon? I think it's a lady demon with, again, like, they've gone for a very stylized sword and shield combo. The sword is, like, very, very stylized. And again, double sword version there. They look great. Oh, no. It's clicked off. Sorry, lads. 1 second. I do this a lot, because the only way to go through it is this teeny little arrow. Okay, here we go. Oh, same thing. Some more of these guys on foot. Different weapon options, big shields. Oh, look. And if there's the mount, it looks like you can build, what is that, 10? Maybe 15 variants of, like, body types to shield types. There's a banner version of these, like, demons with armor. Lots of variety on this one. Well, this is what Titanforge are very good at. Like, if anyone is interested. So, like, they're really good at... If you wanted to print armies or units, Titanforge is probably the place to go to. Because you're able to, like you see, there'll be a picture in a minute where they show you all the options. There you go. So there are 5 body options for the kind of on foot demons with, yeah, like the bloodletter variants really with big armor, and then the centaur versions. There are 2 body types and then 2 different headsets, and there's a ton of different headsets and a ton of different weapon options on those as well. So they look great. Big fan of that. And there's the bases that you can do. And some little extras. Oh, I love a little extra. There's all sorts. So there's like a torturer's set. So there's a cook pot where someone's being melted. That's awesome. There's a little torture rack, the stretcher. Cohen camera. Yeah, these are pre-supported. They are. It's a playroom. Yeah, really cool D&D demon set. Yeah, very cool D&D demon set. Or you could make yourself an army of demon stuff, which I think is quite rad. So yeah, really nice. And then there's some little extras. There's a dwarf warrior, which is pretty standard. A dark elf lady. That's quite nice. Again, and a human fighter. Okay, so that is everything from Titanforge for this month. Oh, thanks very much for subscribing, Ratadron. Hope you're well. Right. Next up, these guys. Oh, there's music on it. Piss. 1 second. Turn that off. Sorry, boys. Right. Here we go. So this is Aryan miniatures. So they have a very gothic style. Like, super gothic. Yeah. Woidoi, that's only this month. Yeah, that's everything that you get from that designer for this month. Everything we're about to look at now, this is a new designer, or a different designer, called Aryan Miniatures. I got a lot of love for these guys. I think that they've got a very, like, specific design. They're not the same as Titanforge, where you really can, like, build armies out of it. Like, there's just some really nice pieces you can add to your army. And let's go through them now. So there you can see. They haven't done any pictures this month, which I think is a bit rubbish. And they've done this video format, but look at this. These are like demon soldiers. Again, they always have this kind of like swamp / like wood Nergal-esque feel to them. They're very kind of Dark Soulsy, very grim. I really like them. I think they're really fucked up. Look at that. So there's, yeah, like they almost look 40k-esque, like Krieg helmets. Like, Warrior of Chaos borrowed these almost, but then, like, Krieg helmets, and there's definitely some, like, machinery in here, and, like, they look like Chaos has taken over, like, a bunch of, like, 1900s deep-sea divers, almost. It's fucking weird, man. Yeah, they're really awesome. Yeah, they've got, like, a very different feel to the... That's why I put these second, because if you compare them to Titanforge have got that very, like, this has been done on a machine sort of vibe to them, and Aryan stuff is very different, and it doesn't tend to have that. So yeah, big fan of this. And then a very classic, like, I don't even know what to make of this, just some like fucked up demon lady with a claw, like a gouty belly, like a mask over a cowl. Yeah, man. So there is going to be a crab range. Get excited. Get excited. But yeah, man. Right, and here's another set. So same thing. Like, looks like some, again, Marauders. If you wanted to do like Nergal Marauders, these are good. Or if you just wanted to do more like fucked up kind of like Marauder-esque things, these definitely touch more on the like the style that I think I prefer in miniatures and war games. That doesn't mean that it's the right one. It just means it's my preference. So like an example would be like I've talked about before, Lutheran and kind of like more grimdark-esque, which is why I'm really excited about the Cruel Boys and also the new Stormcast. I think they really vibe into basically anything you can streak and grow is my vibe. Look at this. So what is this? This guy's like on stilts. He does this a bit actually, and I find it really unnerving. He puts like, I think it's he, it might be a they, I don't know, so I apologize. But like, look at this. So like, it's like a swamp walker on stilts, and I always find stilts super creepy. I'm not sure why. When they're put on these old models, I don't know if it makes me think of did Skeksis or whatever in the original Dark Crystal all have stilts, or is there something around the 80s where everything had stilts and it was just super creepy? I got you as a Karajan Grot. How can I? I'm on it. I'll go check in a minute, babe. It's very John Blanche. Yeah. It is. And look at the warriors, man. They're so good. They're super fun. But they'll just print like they print, probably. There you go. There's some more shots of those warriors. So they've got like, they're covered in rags, and they've got some kind of like leather armor. They've got like really twisted, vicious weapons. They're definitely not as militarized and formalized. That's one of the things I find weird about things like Blood Warriors, ultimately, is that they've all got like, there's a smith somewhere designing like perfect, cut to fashion Blood Warrior armor. And that's what I think I like about the Cruel Boys stuff. It's like much more like beat up, like hodgepodge, kind of like, I don't really like it. The Blood Warrior armor seems too manufactured, if that makes sense. Like, and I would like, of all the races to have really manufactured armor, I wouldn't think it would be Khorne. I would think that it would be, I don't know, someone else. So like, I quite prefer this like random assortment of metal bits that they found. But yeah, but these look great. Oh no, I broke the video. There we go. Oh, and there's some shielded versions again with those like Krieg masks. That's an interesting take. And then with like a tentacle breathing apparatus. Is that a backpack that it goes to? Yeah, they've got like a little skin sack on the back that they breathe with. It's fucking gross. It's fucking gross. And then a piece of terrain, which is just a shit hellmouth thing. It's fine. Whatever. A little pipe. So it's definitely got like a theme. Okay, fine. And then some weird worms. All right. Okay. You didn't have to do the words. Okay. Right. All right. So that's them. What do you guys think of the Beastarium stuff? Very interested to know what you all think for one versus the other. The last set versus this set, like, and how you feel about like the difference between them. This one has weird poop vibes. I hear you. Would be great to see Chaos Mortals and Beastmen get the Cruel Boys treatment. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I was making a load of Karakalakites. They are pretty swole for nerds. Sorry again. They are! And also, hope the new job's going well, James. Is Eisenhorn there a species that... in Eisenhorn, there are species that are warp deformed that has stilts of different lengths. Gross. Gross. The wheel dudes from Return of Oz were creepy. Ghost Run Nero. Yes! What a scary film. If anyone hasn't watched, so obviously you had The Wizard of Oz, and then there was like in the 80s, there was like another version, like Return to Oz, and it is so creepy. I watched it as a kid, and I was like terrified by it. Like, it was so scary. Tony Moore, I prefer more organic, i.e. the second set. Me too, bud. That's more like my wheelhouse. Harder to build armies out of, though, but like, I agree. I'm with you. Which is why I think so the next designer I'm about to talk about, 3D Digital Art, might be one of my favourite designers at the minute. Again, you're not really able to build armies from their stuff, but it's just wicked. So here we go. So again, a kind of like a very aquatic theme to it, which is fun. Oh, have I looked at this before? Yeah, I have. I've shown you guys this before. I'm so sorry. This is the May release. Is there not a June release out? Yeah, January, February, March, April, May, June. I haven't seen it. Okay, I've got this wrong. So I'll quickly fire through these, but these guys are great. I've done this one already. So there's like a swamp kingdom thing, which looks pretty rad. So there's like a coral throne, which would make a great piece of terrain for a Deepkin board or for any Deepkin player. And here you can see a octopus, kind of like the anime version of the king from The Little Mermaid. Like he's like more aggressive, far more serious, a bit of like Davy Jones face as well. Got a wicked harpoon spear. Like just really cool. You could do this guy as an Achillean king 100%. Thanks very much, Eminist. I'll take a look at that in a minute, but I haven't signed up, so I can't look. Oh, maybe I can. I'll go and have a look in a sec. Yeah, this guy's great. Really fun. Really good. You could definitely use him in a Deepkin army. Look at this boy. Crab head. Human kind of body. 3 arms. Well, 1 arm. 2 claws. No idea if you could use this as anything. But looks awesome. Is what I'm going to say. Eidolon. Yeah, you could maybe use it as Eidolon. That would be cool. Yeah, Crabbro. Hi Carumba. Yeah, he's great, right? Like, and that would be super cool. Demon Prince of Nergal. You vibing with me on that or not? Okay, you're not. Fine. Next up, just a cool wizardess who is also half octopus. So a mermaid, but the bottom half is octopus. She's got, I mean, I'm not going to say it. She's got some magic coming out, and she has a necklace from the sea, is what she has. But a great design, I would say. Very cool looking. Very cool looking. I suppose you could use them as each. What, like, other than Deepkin, who... whenever I think of, like, sea stuff for Chaos, for Age of Sigmar, I always think of, like, Nergal, because they have a lot of, like, trees and mollusks and swamps, I guess. Zinch work? They normally are, like, bird-esque, aren't they? Avian? They're more avian, that's the word. Morathi. Yeah, okay. What, a big Morathi? Maybe. So here is, again, another kind of, like, aggressive mermaid casting spells, and then she seems to have summoned, like, a Djinn sea monster, which is very cool. I like that a lot. I think that's good. Avangori Vampirates. Nice. Cohen Cambrai. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Yes, you 100% could do that. That's a great idea. Again, just some more octopus ladies with different magic. Some like sea creatures. Another not octopus lady, a mermaid lady with magic. Man, that's cool. And now we're getting into some fighty ones. I like these because I was like, could you use these as eels instead? Like instead of eels, it's just these guys because they look great. So they're mermen, but the top half is armored with scimitars and very bladed armor, which I think looks really nice as well. Like it fits the shape because obviously you'd want it to be pointed and I guess not water resistant. The opposite, water non-resistant. Hear me out. Zinch could be the intelligence of squid, more like old ones sort of monsters. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a cool merman, right? Yeah. So this is fun. Now this guy is great. So this is a sea coral monster. His torso seems to be made of shells, which has some unspeakable horrors, a clam with horrors inside of it, covered in kind of like rock and coral. He's just a coral monster, and he looks great. I guess definitely true of the dynamic shape of him. You could probably cut an arm, so it's a bit different, but he's got a very like heroic like pose. Hey Tristan, what up? June release. Oh wait, is there a June release? Thanks, Glodan. Yes. Let's go to it because I love these guys. I think they do awesome stuff. So give me a second, I'll go grab it. Another coral monster. Looks amazing. Well, hold on. Let me just go grab that link from the chat. It's going to open up in here. Of course, the drama. Is there a part 2? Fuck! Fuck! Okay, I'm really excited about this. Okay, we'll do that in a minute. Let's go back 1 sec. Yeah, Glowdown, I'm onto it. We'll go do that next. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah! Right, look at this crab. He's got a chain. So once I'm done painting terrain, this is all I'm doing, by the way. Like, I've just painted up, like, fucking cool little models for all these different designers. I'm going to get super creepy weird into, like, painting. You know, like, people who already like painting, like, proper weirdos. I'm going to get into it like those guys. Like Henry and Vince and all those, like, fucking nutters. Like, what? Like, I might learn what brushes do. Right? Died in the chat, excuse me. No, what I mean is I'm going to try harder at my own painting because I would like to paint this stuff really nice because it looks beautiful. Hey, I resemble that remark. Yeah, me too. Anyway. The people who I'm always jealous of, and jealousy because it's not me. So I want to be clear about this. Are the people who just take their time with their models, and they don't care that they've got a tournament coming up, or they want to get this new cool army with these wicked rules on the tabletop, whatever. They just like carry on, and I'm like, what about the release pace? You'll never get it in time, etc., etc. But I'd like to turn into one of those people, I think, and just enjoy that process. And then just stick any old shit on the table, basically, is my plan. So that's what I'm jealous of. That I've never been that person. So what I'm saying is I'm jealous of people with temperance, is what I am jealous of. Anyway, big crab guy with some awesome claws and a big puncher, which I fucking love that big puncher. Get that in. And there's the crown. Okay, all right. So the June version of this release, oh baby, because it's a 2-parter. There's some coral and stuff. Yeah, so diplomatic. Thanks very much, Aryan. Appreciate you. So there's a big sea monster, but it's in like 4 parts where it's the board would be underwater. This would be awesome for a piece of terrain. Yeah, this would be This would be great. Painting non-Warhammer helps on slowing you down. There's no deadlines and no events. Thanks, Tony. I know Tony's been doing a load of that as well. And I just think that's what I'd like to get into. So then we had the mermen who were all armoured and battling, and now we have the mer-women. Not mer-women. What are they called? Mermaids. That's it. Are they? Does that mean they're mer-squires? What's the male equivalent of a maid? Because it's not a merman. It's not mermaid and merman, is it? Lady merman. Nailed it. Bloodstalkers. Yes. Daedrin. Yes. You could do an aquatic Bloodstalker army. That's a great idea. Mer guys. Hey, Nergal Matthew, what up? Big love to you. So these look great. Oh, look at this. A variety of different weapons. So you've got the same body piece, and then you've got 6 heads. Wow, that's awesome. And then you've got a variety of different weapons, be they big glaives, or they are just regular hands and swords and blades, or they're these wicked-looking scimitar things, like Darth Maul double blades. They're great. This is so good. They're really nice. I don't know what they're called, but they're probably paid 25% more. I'm doing Pegasus. You're great. Yeah, these look amazing. So these, just mermaids with just wicked weapons. And again, you would be 100% right. They could be very awesome stalkers inside. Daughters of Cain. It's a great suggestion. Yeah, it's just, really nice. More terrain, and then some Murlocs. Oh, yeah. So some, what are they called? Anglerfish? So just a small little anglerfish body with a bunch of different blades. Maybe you could print tons of these and they could be grots, and you could do yourself an aquatic grot army to kind of like, especially to tie in with the Cruel Boys for that more like swampy, danky theme if you wanted. But these guys are super cute. Angela Murlocs, perfect. Have we seen any fully painted non-Games Workshop armies appear in events yet? Not yet. but I think within the next year we definitely would. Skinks? Oh, that's a great idea. You could use these as skinks instead of skinks. Yeah, to kind of fit in with the aquatic thing that they have as well. Yeah, these are really cute. Good job, these guys. Oh, look, they've got a variety of different options there, as you can see. So good work again on 3D digital art here in doing this kind of like these. One of the gorgeous bits about doing 3D printing is not building. Like, I love building minis. Like, I love it. Like, it's really therapeutic. But you know when you have to build a mini? Like, I had to build Plague Marines for my Death Guard army, and it took me days, hours. These, it's just like, print the body, stick on the different arm that you want. Minutes. I like to believe creatures of the sea are more evolved than us landlubbers, and they support pay equally, says Nikita Williams. Oh, dear. Look at these guys. Oh, wait, and these are armored versions. So it's the same Murlocs, but now they've all got coral armor. So if you wanted to make like an elite infantry version, that's like, so you've got like your troops, and then these guys are like the chunky armored variant. Wicked. Gunshot Grandad says, a lot of events I've played don't allow non-Games Workshop or limit the number of non-Games Workshop. Yeah, that's not going to be the events I attend, nor is it going to be the events that I hold. Because I think as long as it makes sense, like, there's taking the piss and there's make sense, I think. And I think that there is a line between, you can create a narrative for anything, but I think you have to just make something that that works here. Like, basically, you have to. Yeah. Oh yeah, Matt Lyons has got one. Good point. So Pro Painted is run by a guy called Matt Lyons, and he has like an amazing. He always does like really nice stuff anyway, like with his armies. But he has an amazing. And maybe Tony could link his Twitter in the chat. I don't know if it's public. I think it is. But he's got. He's done all of the Titanforge Ogre Kingdom stuff, where he's got like the crab. With an ogre on top, and then there's all the pirates. So they're basically pirate ogres, and he's done a whole ogre army with it, with walruses and all sorts of stuff. It looks brilliant, and he's a great painter as well. So like, it just looks really, really nice. So yeah, that's a great one. I'd love to see that in an event. Vols are right. I know what you mean. I love building, but since I have to build up multiple units for this weekend, you'd think I was back in college and I had a proper keep putting it off. Yeah, it's some days it's rough. Volzen, I 100% agree. Those bigger ones could work with Death Shroud's Terminators if you give them a scythe. These guys? No. Could they? Right, next up. So there's all the Murlocs, different ones, different armoured versions. This thing is incredible. Incredible. You could use it as a Mauler Fiend in 40k. You could use it as a Demon Prince. You could use it as a Mutileth Vortex Beast. You could use it as just a Charybdis. Not that you would ever take any of those. A Defiler, like Walruses isn't a word. Is it Walrai? Shut up, Tristan. Is it? Is it Walrai? Oh yes, Chuckle Buddy. That's a great suggestion. You're putting a Lariel on top of this instead of the Wardroth Beetle. That's a great suggestion. Yeah. So this looks beautiful. Really nice. And also, like, just having looked at a lot of these designs before, one of the things that you'll notice is there's there's all of the panels are kind of curved and rounded, which is quite nice. So when it prints and it comes off the supports, it'll be fairly easy to clean up. That looks really great. Really nice. Big monster type. A group of walruses can also be called a herd or a pod, but we like huddle best. Jonathan Etland! Yes! It's just walrus for both singular and... Wait. Okay. 100% Walrai. Okay. That's a great suggestion. If you were making a Seraphon army, it could be a Stegodon, and then you could stick some of the little Murlocs on. It could also be... and it could be a Stegodon. Yeah. Instead of if you're doing Saurus... Oh, not Saurus, sorry. Seraphon. That's a great idea. I mean, it could also be a Leviathan, and you could put some elves on top of it with a drum. It's a pretty big deep-sea creature. Yeah, that's a great idea from you guys. Well done. Just check the time. Fuck, I've only got 10 minutes left, so I'll try and rifle through some of these. These look great. Again, more Merman with those weapons options from the month before, some terrain, and there's the whole kit. Right, okay, let's try and fire through. Sacrus Munda. does terrain that I've printed loads of, incredible designs for FDM printers. Love all of this stuff. This is this month. It's got this fun Japanese pagoda kind of, I think that's the right word, feel. Really, really nice. Look at this. It's modular, so you can build it up and down. But then it's also, it's mechanical? Nice. So it's like a future Japanese city. So you can build some nice terrain. Just really great stuff, Sacrus Archvillain. Archvillain, Lost Kingdoms? Archvillain? Lost Kingdoms have done a fairy type release this month. So this is Lost Kingdoms. And while I think that I've seen some better Fae stuff recently, I still like the idea of it, and like just to get like, in fact, actually, I hate these. These look awful, but they look fine. So let's just like, that's me being a bit mean. Sorry, but I love this model. So this is like a Vulpix. Look at this. This is just outrageous. I think just maybe it's the way it's presented. Not sure, but it's like a wolf Vulpix thing, and it's got an elf lady inside of it. And she's doing some magic. So this could be like an Alariel. This could be anything you wanted. Like you could put it into like a tree spirit army. I just think this looks so good. Severith. Oh wow, yeah. Of course, that would be a wicked Severith or a wind mage. You could definitely do that as a wind mage. Fox Meta is strong, yeah. So yeah, like that's beautiful. I just wanted to really show off that. Look, front on. That would be so fun to paint. It would just be wicked. And then there's also like a cavalry version as well. So and you could use these instead of Rue Riders, I guess. Instead of Wind Chargers, you could have these guys if you wanted to have your Lumineth be more like windy, I guess. But I think one of the things that we haven't seen in Age of Sigmar at all really is like Fae. I talked about this on the show before, like whether it be evil, dark Fae or kind of like more magical, spirity Fae like we're seeing here. I think a Fae race inside Age of Sigmar would be rad, personally. Did I get it wrong? Ninetales. Thanks. Thanks, everyone. It's not Vulpix, it's Ninetales. So there you go. There's some wolves being ridden around. So yeah, you could definitely do those as like wind chargers. That'd be rad. No idea what's going on with this model. Like literally none. His entire body is hidden by the stick in front of his face, so that makes it super awkward. Some sort of wizard here. Is that good? And then, what is going on with this? What is this? Like a tree end with like a little tree in the middle? I don't like this at all. This sucks. It sucks. I'm not into that. That one's out for me. But like, I think Lost Kingdoms do really nice stuff, so I just want to point that out there. But get that off my screen. Don't stop showing me that. No, stop showing me these. Okay. Right, Archvillain. Archvillain probably the most complicated designs every month. They make some like really intense things. Here you can see it's like a dual kit. It looks like, but it's not really. It's all Tomb King-esque stuff. Called so this is Archvillain Games. Does some really, really great work. Look at this first model. Unreal. I think it's a scarab. It's like a humanized beetle, a large beetle, but the armor again is amazing. Like really well thought out. Like this kind of like Betillion. That's wrong. I'm not really sure. Reminds me of if you ever watched The Fifth Element, the opening scenes of the kind of like waddly big men, a lot more scaraby. But yeah, just. Like, yeah, really unbelievably cool. And I think like the idea of them is very clever as well. So they would be really fun to run in a death army. There you go. Look at these. So these could be really awesome Morghasts if you wanted to kind of stick with that Egyptian theme. You could even use them as Necropolis Stalkers if you wanted to run them in OBR. They're just really, really, really nice. Yes, Tzeentch Demon Prince as well. 100% you could do an amazing Tzeentch Demon Prince, especially if you're doing something in Thousand Suns. Or a Vengori Lord, yeah, if you wanted to go like more Egyptian with your Vampire Lord stuff. But yeah, just unbelievably cool. And then look at this, another version, again with these like very different weapon options, these circular sword side things, just brilliant. Beautiful models. Beautiful. And then you've got some more on foot. Same thing, these kind of beetles in this big beetle armor, but then they've got like a spear, and they've got these big Teutonic shields. So that, again, they've got that very Egyptian, but they haven't gone like they've gone like very armored, very kind of like, they remind me of Thousand Suns a lot, so I see that. Here's a big behemoth monster sort of thing, behemoth monster. Huge sculpt, carrying a pyramid on its back, made out of stone with big blade swords. Just crazy. Immortus Guard, they make great Immortus Guard. This guy would make an amazing Gargant, 100%. So this is very, very cool. So yeah, you could use it as a harvester. That's a great suggestion. If you wanted to throw this in as a harvester instead of a harvester, that's a great idea. In an Ossiarch Bone Reaper's army, of course. That's a really good suggestion. There he is again from another angle. Amazing. Carrying that, like, thing on his back. Here you've just got a regular Tomb King. Just out and out, being carried on a throne. Looks great. Look at that. That's fun. You could use him, like, again, you could use him in OBR as a whatever, right? Whatever they're called. So we're seeing a wizard here. Again, this kind of like ebony skin you could potentially use. Got like this feline face sculpt mask, which I think is beautiful. Long robes, really nice sculpt. I think this is really, really clever. Again, that cat mask is just really nice. And I know some of you thinking, that won't come out in printing, but I've printed stuff from this guy before and it does. You will get that detail that you see on this model. Maybe if you're not using anything below a 2K printer, but you can get 2K printers, 4K printers. There's now 6K printers are now a thing. They're being sold by, I can't remember what. The K, by the way, is the screen. So you print them from a screen underneath, and the K just means that there's more lines, just like with a TV, of resolution, so it prints finer. So you'll get better detail. That's what it is. Yeah, there's a 6K come out from whoever I've got mine from. Which I've forgotten. Yeah, shit is moving quick. Yeah, give it 2 years. This stuff's going to be unreal. Like, we're all going to be doing it. Again, really great sculpt. Again, more of this cat armor, bladed weapons. You could definitely use this as a Mortis Guard. 100% you could build yourself an Ossiarch's army out of this, I think. Some awesome new models. One of the things about Archvillain, though, is he doesn't tend to let you add weapon options or move stuff around a little bit, so it would be like multiples of the same pose. So I probably wouldn't try and build like foot troops out of it, but maybe special units. So let me just get to the cat people because I'm pushed for time now. Sorry, guys. I have an appointment at 1:05. Look at this. So here, like a feline cat people on a chair. Use this as a wizard. This looks really, really awesome. You could just use this to paint. You could use it as a statue. You could use it as terrain. Just looks good. Is this just a game or just minis? This is just minis, man. I kind of said it at the top of the show, T-Man, if you go back and read it. You Catacross! Fucking love Owen Jackson so much. Fucking, let's go. Wish I was in his brain. Yeah, you could do a diorama out of these, right? You could like take the cat lady on a throne. You could sit the cat lady with her wine glass. The cat lady doing magic. Is there one where it's all together? Or am I imagine it? Another cat. You could stick them all on like the one big base. That would be good. These are awesome. These kind of like not so elegant, more like vampiric, kind of like feral cats with blades. These look great. Not sure what you'd use them as, but they look gorgeous. And they're very fun design there. Yeah, like really nice. I like the kind of like elongated feet as well. They're very cool. Big fan of this. And then you've got some horse archers. So they're riding these cat sphinx-esque type creatures, and then they're all like wrapped up in this like big fine cloth. They've got like those faceplate masks things, which I think are really fun actually. I think they're a really nice take. Look at that one. They're a really nice take on like what to do with the head options, I think sometimes. So that's nice. Yeah, like a death mask. That's cool. That's really cool. You could use them as stalkers. Yeah, 100%. They look great. Really nice. And then the swole boys. Big, chunky. Look at these. Look wicked. Wicked. I think you could do like if you pushed yourself, you could probably do yourself a nice Cities of Sigmar army, but make it all Egyptian themed. Like as this is kind of like the core base of what you were trying to go for. Use these as different options. Cities of Sigmar don't really have any like heavy infantry, do that? Like I mean like monstrous infantry generally. Do they? No, it's all like dudes, isn't it? There's no like monstrous infantry in there. It's a bit of a shame. Big Immortus vibes. Yeah, big Immortus Guard vibes here. Yeah, so there's basically everything here other than the Mortek Guard for this army. So you can basically build yourself a wicked-looking, very unique-looking OCR Bone Reapers army. And not in any way... the only thing you probably would have to pick up is Mortis Guard or try and get Mortis Guard from somewhere else. Quite a few people have done like Egyptian-themed stuff. So, nice. Like, again, nice bows. So much detail, though. The problem with the Archvillain stuff is like, you have to want to paint it because it's tons and tons of stuff. Portek Guard also works. And then just some feral cat demon things, which are gross. Amazing range. And that's it. I gotta go. So yeah, I mean, there are loads of other designers that we didn't even look at today, so maybe I'll do this again another time. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know in the chat now and also on the YouTube comments and podcast guys. I know this is probably not like good enough for you, so apologies about that. But let me know if it's something you want me to like. So once a month, there's a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, like let me know if that's something you want me to go through next time because it's just fun. Yes, Henry. Yes, love you. Hope you're well. Can you print some and show us too, Chucklebuddy? Sure. Yeah, I will do. I will do. Resin, I just don't have tons of money at the minute, dude. So like, I haven't got lots of money for resin. So like it's more of an extravagance to maybe print it. But I might print up the big. I don't know. Yeah, I'll print up some stuff. 100%. It's showing it. That's the hard bit because I printed some stuff in the arena, and like one of the hardest things to do is present it because obviously one of the good things that designers do here is they color it on their 3D design so they can show it off better. But when I print it in just resin, it just doesn't and it just doesn't look great. So one of the things I started to do was base spray it, and I think that looks better. And then you dry brush it white, and then you kind of stick like a Nuln or an Agrax over the top. That looks even better. You can pick out some of the detail, but it's still not painted. So like, it's hard to show the detail off. Is what I'm trying to say. I have a 3D printed Bretonnian army and half my undead is printed now, says Tony. Yeah, like, it's the future, boys. It's the future. And if anyone's got any questions about it at all, leave it on the YouTube comments or drop me a DM on Twitter or something and we'll talk it through. I got to go. I'm so sorry. Love you all. Thanks so much for listening. It's really cool talking to you all. You're all great. Shadowson, you're particularly brilliant. Thanks to everyone on Patreon for making it so I can do this. Bum. Love you loads and have a nice day. Bye-bye. Oh, see you tomorrow. Woohoo. All right. No. I'll see you at 6 p.m. tonight for the band show for the Super Series semi-finals this weekend. 6 p.m. tonight. 6 p.m. tsportsnetwork.com. No, not .com. Twitch. T-Sports Network tonight. 6 p.m. See you there.